are mad because they got beat by their rules. That's very true.
Georgie Apo menena bro.
Yeah.
Apo.
And then hiyo ni kama kwa elections una gerrymander alafu even in that gerrymander district you still lose. So that's what happened with these other guys. And then Washeke anasema in general Qatar treats foreign workers horribly. And I think this is a conversation about workers in the Middle East. We did a show so many years ago, and I think it's important we hear from people who are actively working there to give us, to give us both sides of the tale.
We have personally, I can say we have learned the hard way.
Yes.
There are three sides to a coin.
Yes, absolutely.
Three.
Mm-hmm.
And
because you have people who've been working there for 10, 15 years.
Who wrote that comment?
This is Washeke.
Washeke.
Yeah.
So we've dealt with a guy, a con man, an absolute con man, a thief, Madhogodhania of the highest order, and he's called Nelson Morioki, some shit like that. He's called Keynel.
Yeah.
He's an effing con man. That's right. He's a con man. That guy is a con man. That guy had painted the picture of Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm not saying that things don't happen.
Yeah.
But what we did was we were able and fortunate enough to have guys who have survived, have lived, have worked,
yes,
and resided in Saudi Arabia.
For years.
For years.
For 15, 20 years.
5,
yeah,
10, 20 years,
yeah,
working. And I'll never forget a guy called Fuad Abdallah.
Fuad Abdallah, yes. Boy wangu sana.
There are three sides to a coin. Listen, most of us here, even listening to this show, if you're not in Saudi Arabia, have never traveled to Saudi Arabia, have never lived in Saudi Arabia, have never worked in Saudi Arabia, so we don't know. Our decisions are based on what we are fed. It's what we are told. This guy Keynel has never been to Saudi Arabia, has never landed, has never lived, has never worked, has never anything.
Probably can't even.
The most thing that he probably has ever done probably is fly over. This idiot is living comfortably in Virginia. Yes, you can record me. Yes, we'll be recording. He lives comfortably in Virginia, but has never. And if he has, we would like to see the footage of him landing in Saudi, meeting the government officials in Saudi of that place, and meeting the Kenyan officials, and then facilitating something.
Yeah.
But anyway, there are three sides to a coin. Three. There's his truth, there's her truth, there's the other story, this story, and then there's the true story.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
So we have, for example, a lot of Kenyans who work there, and I think this has also been another challenge to us.
Yes.
That we need to do a show where we are talking to people who live there, and they give us their experience.
Yes.
Rather than us making a determination about them based on a report that we saw on France 24 or on Deutsche Welle TV. Or on a news report on KTN. We talk to people who are working there. And yes, we know there are cases of people who have died. There are cases of people who have been mistreated.
Yes.
Who have suffered. But is this what, like 90% of our workers?
Is it the norm?
Is it the norm? Or is this the exception? I think that's for that will be for you to determine.
Yeah. And you remember the interview that Jeff Koinange had? 2 ladies.
Yeah.
One pro, one anti.
Yes, exactly.
And one was sided by this con man called Keynel.
Yeah.
But this other lady was saying if she was given a chance, she would go back.
Exactly.
That's why I was saying there are 3 sides to a coin.
And there was a stat that I was looking at, maybe I might be wrong, but I think remittances from Saudi Arabia have become, I think, second. Mm-hmm. They've overtaken, I think, UK. Mm-hmm. They become second in Kenya,
yes,
which shows you how many Kenyans and how many families are relying on the jobs out there. And I know it's so easy for people to say, oh, don't go work in those countries. Can't tell that to someone who has no opportunity,
hana
no job, and have a family to feed.
Unaambiwa wewe boss, nenda ukachukue passport twende na kupeleka kule Dubai, utafanya kazi.
So I think Qatar personally, I have 2 cousins who've worked there. and the experience was good. I mean, they were not living a lavish life or anything, but they said that the experience was okay there.
And they made good money. Just to jump onto that about Qatar,
Huyu
and
Pablo-
I'm not saying that
Pablo ako na
that there is
fujo
no
leo.
issues, because the issues do indeed exist,
No,
and
they
we
do.
have them
We're not
recorded.
denying that.
But and for Qatar itself, I'm not sure if there's specific Qatar related issues. I don't know. I haven't seen specific for Qatar. However, it's one of those places when you come through, if you go through Doha on your way home and coming back, or you get an opportunity to, I got an opportunity to stay there for a night. It's not a long time, but I also got the opportunity to go through the airport and all that. And in fact, I think it's almost like 90% of the workers who are at the airport who you're bumping heads with, meaning they're the ones who are working the security line, they're the ones who are the agents over there, are actually Kenyans.